are asked one common question. What you want to do when you grow up? Some men say silly things and say they want to be cowboys, kings and queens, billionaires. Then, of course, throughout their lives, different interests come up, so they end up having different futures they desire, different things, different wishes they want and hope for. Please, raise your hand if you have gone through this phase in your life. I mean, well, me, on the other hand, never really struggled with that question. Since I was a little girl, I was always sure of what I wanted to pursue in life. I would call myself a determined and strong, real girl. I don't mean this in a presumptuous way, it's just how I feel. Although, there's this one teeny, tiny question that's perpetually made me feel unsettled and has truly bothered me from the start of my childhood. That teeny, tiny, three-word kind of question is, what are you? Now, first off, for you to have a clearer and crystal view of what I'm trying to say here, you should know that I have a proud Thai mama and a strong, determined Portuguese papa. As you know, we belong to a world where mankind has developed different beliefs, values, cultures, history, politics. I could go on and on, but most of these aspects change from place to place. Suppose that you ask yourself, how different is Europe from Asia? I mean, they're two continents practically stuck together, but at the same time they do have their own cultural differences. Does that really imply they're so different from one another? Maybe yes. However, if you look within the values and principles, trust me, they're not that dissimilar. And so, me being a result between Portuguese and Thai blood only proves it. I perfectly remember going to school as a little girl, never quite understood my place in society. And as I've mentioned before, I like being determined and sure. I would constantly ask myself, whether I really belong, whether I really fit in. You see, kids can be mean. Even if they don't actually intend to, their actions and sayings do hurt and leave a scar as well. It's like their minds are polluted with propaganda that make them believe in the supposedly perfect image of the way their favorite movie and cartoon characters look like. Little Gabby here used to look much more Asian than Western. They would call me the Chinese girl and treat me as if I were an alien, a living being who does not share the same ethics and morals as they do, just because of the way she looked and the weird-looking Asian seaweed snacks she would bring to school, which, by the way, are delicious. The thing is, I'm not any close to being Chinese. Like when people think of Asia, China is the only existing country. So as a dramatic kid, and I've always been that fiercely, tell them to stop calling me Chinese because I'm not. And then that's when the teeny, tiny question made its first appearance. If you're not Chinese, what are you? An alien? Being raised as a biracial child with parents from different continents is quite a task. However, without regarding the fact that my parents are from completely different places and that both of them have taught me their own cultural beliefs and knowledge, they have always given me the guidance to be an individual with a critical spirit and open mind about the world that we live in. To have principles of sincerity, candor, honest, to be good, not to be a corrupted soul with no ideals of life whatsoever. Later in life, I grew up, tend to look more Western as you see me now. That's when I started to have the interest to actually say to people that I'm half Asian. But then, they try to guess. They try to guess which Asian nationality it is. And guess what is their first assumption? Chinese. Yes, it's always Chinese. But the most upsetting part was that as soon as people knew both my real nationalities, I felt like I needed to pick one of them. Are you white? Are you Asian? Do you prefer living in Thailand? Okay, do you like Thai food better than Portuguese food? It was just too much. I don't want to tag or to commit myself to one country. I don't want to choose a label that would define me for life. I want to be recognized for my actions and standards. Not you or anybody should feel the way that little girl felt during her childhood, confused and in need to belong to a group because she felt like she was too white to hang out with the Asian or too Asian to hang out with the white. Because her beliefs, costumes and values were completely different. Is this really our future generation's reality? Are these kids' knowledge and education so narrow-minded to Western society? There shouldn't be any guidelines or prescriptions into defining a person's purity and virtue. You and I deserve better. We deserve to feel integrated and happy no matter the place, no matter the cause, no matter your religion, color, or race. Now if you ask me that same teeny, tiny question again, what are you? Don't expect me to pick one country or even both, because my response will be, I am a person who believes in a world where no disgrace, indignities, corruption take place, where everyone deserves and should live in. I am me.